Hey guys, it's Jasmine and I'm back with my take on Kathryn Bigelow's Detroit. So I've seen the film, I've talked to the cast, I even went to Detroit. And I have to say, I think Kathryn's efforts are certainly commendable. What she's done with this film is basically bridge a gap between what happened in the city of Detroit in 1967 with incidents of violence against people of color in communities across this country. It's very relevant and it's a very timely film. It's also a very uncomfortable watch. This is not a big budget, glitzy summer blockbuster film. It is a film that is definitely going to be hard to watch and uncomfortable at times. While the film is called Detroit, the actual riots aren't given much attention. Instead, Bigelow focuses on the incident inside the Algiers motel on the night of July 25th, when 3 black civilians were murdered and 7 other black men, along with 2 white women, were mercilessly tortured and beaten by several cops. It is a true story, and Kathryn has been very vocal in saying that she had to talk to a lot of people and kind of take some creative liberties in the way in which she pieced together the events. You almost feel like you were actually inside of the motel with these kids, and you feel like you were being terrorized. And I think that was her point. She wanted to show you that bigotry is still very real, and it is something that we must talk about. It almost feels like a scary movie, and racism is the monster. Where I think Bigelow fell short is that we don't really see how the riots came to an end and the scope of the overall damage. You're left with just the ending court scene. There's just one line at the end where she makes reference to some of the people whose lives were affected and the families, and it almost feels like an afterthought. If there is a bright side, I think it's that once you see Detroit, you won't forget it. What I also loved about this film is the cast. Some faces you know, like Anthony Mackie and John Boyega and Algie Smith, and some you don't. But the point of it all is that you will be drawn in by these stories and feel a sense of compassion for these characters. So I'm giving Detroit 8 out of 10 stars. Go see it when it hits theaters nationwide on August 4th and tell them Jasmine sent you. Oh, and leave a comment below and let me know what you thought.